All right, let's welcome John T. Bennett back to WDL. So what made it so confusing and troubling, and why did you reference the Jimmy Buffett song? What made you think that your flight had gone through a time warp coming back to the States?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. It was a little bit jarring. A much-needed vacation, first really vacation in, I guess, a year and a half, and thinking about, the shutdown threat when Congress gets back next month, and then, the next 15, 16 months going into the election, and importantly, after the election, it's going to be pretty wild. So it was nice to get away, but, I kept my phone either in the beach bag or in the safe in the room a lot of the time, and so I had to catch up when I got back. And, we've got country music videos where, a white Southern man is all but daring black people and progressives and liberals and just about anybody who's ever protested anything except the January 6th rioters, of course, to come down south and take on the country boys or try to protest in a small town. It's still unclear exactly what he wanted them to do, but definitely it was threatening violence. And we also had that was when the Florida Education Department revised its curriculum on Black history, and made a what I took as an inaccurate point that black slaves, were taught trades and skills that for their personal benefit. A lot of them were also beaten violently, and a lot of them died while they were slaves. That part, of course, was left out of the new guidelines. And other things like Trump's ongoing legal problems and motions in these hearings and new indictments were coming as I landed and was looking at my phone, and we learned that the D.C. indictment was going to come pretty soon after that. So it just the racial stuff and the slavery stuff really made me feel like my plane had gone back in time, and then to this parallel universe where for the first time in American history, a former U.S. president was about to be indicted for a third time. Mm-hmm. And, I was listening to some Jimmy Buffett, of course, on vacation, trying to relax. And the song Banana Republic, it's a great song, but he warns in there that folks in the Caribbean were no longer buying the American dream or the tales from America. And that really hit home when I put those two together. And I make that point in last week's column, which people can read on rollcall.com, that, America continues losing its luster, even if you think Joe Biden's done a decent job or a good job. It's not, when you tell people where you're from, when you travel abroad, it's just, there's a certain look that you get, and that's not improved.
Yeah, the look that we're getting as Americans now when we travel abroad is, what the hell is going on with America? Talking here with John T. Bennett from rollcall.com. The column you just posted today, I don't know if you've seen what happened to Mike Pence at the Iowa State Fair yesterday, but you wrote a piece called Decoding Mike Pence, the words he just can't say, those words being President Donald Trump, those three words. But how does he walk through this minefield?
I don't think he can, and I don't think he's walking through it very well or very wisely right now. He polls at under 6%. That's the 538 average as of yesterday. He's going to get on the debate stage on the 23rd, the first GOP debate, primary debate. But he's not walking through it. He won't, he says that, no one who's ever put himself over the Constitution should be president again. So the again tells you that he's, we think, referring to Donald Trump, but he never says, like Chris Christie, former New Jersey governor, Republican presidential candidate. Christie says, this guy's, speaking of Trump is not fit for office. He shouldn't be president again. Pence won't, he doesn't say it like that. And when he's pressed, he won't say the words. Major Garrett on Face the Nation on CBS last Sunday, an interview with Pence, asked him very simply, very succinctly, would you vote for Donald Trump to be president again? And Pence didn't say no. He left the door open. He changed the subject. He does this over and over. So, either you are anti-Donald Trump because of your experiences firsthand with Trump during Trump's efforts to overturn the election, and then, of course, in the run-up to January 6th and the day of January 6th, when, let's face it, Mike Pence was the president for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours that day as he was in a parking garage on Capitol Hill directing the response the best he could, and Donald Trump was watching on TV at the White House. So Mike Pence and they chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." They brought a gallows to the Capitol grounds. His family was in danger. You would think that he could say the words, but he just can't bring himself to do it. And, folks, I talk to Republican strategists, other national security and political experts, and I agree with them that it just comes over that it's more about ambition, Pence's own ambition, than blocking Trump. And to do that, to become the GOP nominee and then president, Pence needs a lot of that Trump base, and that's why he won't say the words.
John T. Bennett, excellent analysis as always. We'll read more at rollcall.com. Thank you for your time. Welcome back to the States. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me.